It started with a honeymoon. A young couple somewhere between the quiet charm of rural Pennsylvania and the bustle of the big city stopped to enjoy a simple local drink, a root tea, the kind made from herbs and barks that country folks swore could cure anything from a cough to a broken heart. The taste lingered in his mind long after the trip was over. There was something about that earthy sweetness, that mix of spice and nostalgia that felt, well, special. And for one young man with a knack for chemistry and an entrepreneurial spark, it was the kind of flavor that could change his life.
Twist, twist, twist of fate radio.
When he returned home to Philadelphia, he started experimenting, not in a factory or fancy kitchen, but in the back room of his small pharmacy. Isn't that where they all started out? He wasn't chasing fortune or fame, just a way to make that rustic root tea smoother, sweeter, and shelf-stable. He added sassafras for depth, wintergreen for brightness, a hint of licorice, and a touch of vanilla. He bottled it carefully, labeled it neatly, and began offering samples to anyone who'd take a sip. At first, people weren't sure what to make of it. A root tea from a pharmacist. That didn't sound like something to drink for fun. So, with a little clever marketing, he renamed it root beer. Suddenly, the same concoction that might have sat on a dusty shelf sounded exciting, even daring. In 1876, he brought his new invention to the Centennial Exhibition in Philadelphia. It was a massive World's Fair celebrating 100 years of American innovation. Among grand displays of machinery and progress, his modest booth offered something far simpler. A cool, fizzy herbal drink. Visitors lined up, curious. They left smiling. Word spread fast. Soon families were ordering it by the bottle, then by the crate. Saloons began stocking it as a temperance-friendly alternative to alcohol. The first non-alcoholic drink in a bar. Its rich brown color and creamy foam made it feel indulgent yet wholesome. And just like that, a small-town pharmacist's curiosity became a sensation. He would go on to build a nationwide brand, one that carried the heart of Pennsylvania in every bottle. His advertisements promised the great health drink. And for a while, America believed it. Not just because it was tasty, but because it felt homegrown. It reminded people of porch swings, summer fairs, and community. Over the decades, the recipe passed through many hands. Giant corporations took over, labels were redesigned, and the original glass bottles gave way to cans and plastic. But for Pennsylvanians like me, and root beer lovers everywhere, the flavor never lost its magic. It still carried that same nostalgic note, a taste of a time when innovation was brewed in back rooms and shared with neighbors first. And the man who made it all possible? That pharmacist was Charles Elmer Hires, the creator of Hires Root Beer, the very first commercially produced root beer in America. He may not have invented the idea of root beer, but he bottled its soul, turning a homemade folk remedy into a national icon. Today, long after Hires' passing, his creation still holds a special place in Pennsylvania pride. A reminder that some of the greatest American ideas don't come from boardrooms or labs, but from people who follow their curiosity and bottle a bit of magic along the way. Because sometimes the sweetest success stories start with nothing more than a sip of inspiration. This has been Twist of Fate Radio. I'm Angela Clark. Until next time, remember, sometimes the smallest choices lead to the biggest consequences. Want to explore more stories like this? Visit twistoffateradio.com. There you can read more details about this story and others like it. Plus, you can submit your own Twist of Fate story to be considered for a future episode. You never know what twist of fate is coming next.